Big dog, what's happening with you?
Happening.
Oh, okay. Philly.
Sticky.
Philly.
Came
What's
here
up, boss?
sticky.
Right
Goodness
now.
gracious.
Cool.
You gotta really be able to do something good though to wear that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can't, like if we walked around like that, people wouldn't respect it. Don't come in here and be all cool and stuff either, bro. Like don't come in here, man.
It might be all he got.
He might just be cool all the
That's
time.
him. I listen to his music. It make me feel like that. Just, hey, y'all chill out now. Don't start that bullshit.
Don't make me get off brand.
Don't make me get off brand. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how boys be like, hey, look, don't take this singing like I'm soft. You know, that's what I be saying about my suits when the boys be trying me.
Yeah.
Let these suits fool y'all now.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No, I don't want to fight no more. Chin
fight
soft
no
as hell.
I'm too old. I got 3 fights left in me. My daughter got blue eyes and shit. I'm in trouble.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, beautiful young girl. So I
Wow.
gotta say that for some high school ass whooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I jump on the kid.
Yeah. You gotta keep some. You gotta keep some in the tank.
Yeah, I keep about 3 left. She's about to be 10.
Shit, you know
So
somebody?
you got what, 7, 6 more? No.
I don't want you to be judging when my daughter about to start.
Hey, when somebody pull up to your house
No, I
playing,
ain't saying
playing that 17 from Music album.
Oh
just
no.
know.
Oh no, they gotta play Garth Brooks when they take my daughter.
That's
He ain't playing
funny.
no Musiq Soulchild.
That's funny.
You won't play nothing that's gonna make
No,
it feel
that
sensual.
his music encourages sex.
No. Musiq Soulchild's music is educational. It's informational. It gives you a heads up.
Teaching them how to
That's well.
turn the lights down.
It's
low,
introducing you to your better options in life, that you don't just have to go down the same lane as everybody else. That's why I said on Just Friends, we could just be cool. You ain't gotta be my girlfriend. We ain't gotta date.
Right.
You know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Let's
We could
be
just hang
friends,
out.
yeah,
You know,
right.
tell your mom and they're like, we just hanging out. If they want to come along, make sure we cool. It's all good. You know,
see how
that's
that
what
work?
Just Friends. That's why I said Just Friends.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the daddy and then right behind him in the movie theater, right on this
And
show.
I'm gonna be like, you be good, sir? You need me to go run get you some popcorn? I ain't got no problem with that.
Hold up, limitless, take a stomach, kind pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Trust, limitless, take a stomach, kind pinning it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up.
Welcome to the Pivot, man. We're
For sure.
excited to have you. Freddie T, Channing, I'm RC. Again, thank everybody for subscribing. We appreciate all of your support. Without you guys supporting us, we don't get opportunities to sit down and have these amazing conversations with people that we truly admire, that are extremely successful in their fields, but we get to dive a little bit deeper into who they are. To our partners, Happy Dad, thank you. Honestly, man, I wanna get right into it.
Okay.
You, for us, you know, when I was driving around college and I was like, shoot, what I'm gonna put on, you know? I knew in my car I was gonna have Hot Boys, because I'm from New Orleans. You know what I mean? I was like, well, that probably ain't gonna get her right. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I thought I was from New York a little bit, so I had a little J.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, well, that ain't gonna work. I said, but if I put this music on, you know, I might have a shot. And so with you, man, singing on corners in Philly and getting an opportunity, you know, you're playing at things for Jill Scott. It's kind of like a singing, you know, hip hop roots. What made you, or what led you into doing music your way?
I wasn't really interested in what everybody else was doing as far as doing it. I was interested in it as a consumer. I was inspired by it, you know, but when it came to doing it, it was like, it don't really fit on me like that, you know, because I had different vibes that was going on, you know, inside of myself, you know, having a very interesting and challenging upbringing. It's kind of hard for me to ooh baby you to death. Like I need to process this baggage, you know. So my only way of outlet was through the music, but I didn't want to be, you know, I didn't want to go the straight blues route. I didn't want to like be all depressing and emo. So that's where I really attribute a lot of my emotional, you know, essence, is because there's a lot of stuff that I'm processing through, but I wanted it to come across as uplifting, you know. So I didn't really see anybody out there that was doing it in that way. I saw a lot of people kind of doing it, you know, how it's done, you know, typically. It's just, you know, it's not, I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying, I was just looking for something different. I didn't start feeling like I could have a chance at being successful at it until I saw like D'Angelo. And I was like, that's different.
Right.
Okay, I see a way now, you know, because other than that, it was like join a boy group or put on your open shirt with the baby oil. Like that just never was my thing, you know. That's for people that want it. There's a lot of dudes that's what their thing was, and it worked for them. Me, it just didn't fit right on me. So in that way, just by process of elimination, I just worked with whatever that was left, and I found myself through that.
You mentioned your upbringing. You left home early.
Around 17, 18.
Yeah, and so and leaving there and being able to be on your own at that point, I feel like some of that maturity comes across in your music. Some of that.
Yeah, you grow up quick.
Yeah.
You know, life gon' life, period. I don't care who you are, I don't care. You could think you special all you want, but everybody else think they special. You know, There's so many people that it takes so much to make a world, and there's so many people that's trying to get to so many things. So you're special to yourself, just like everybody else is special to themselves. So now you have a responsibility. If you think you're that special, you have a responsibility to prove and let it be known that you are that special. Do it. Go ahead. Be special.
Right.
You know, nobody's going to just give you special privileges. You know, so that's what I learned when I left. But at the time, I felt like it was better to try my hand, you know, in these streets than at the crib because there was a lot of misunderstanding. I'll just call it misunderstanding.
You say, like you're saying, call it misunderstanding, but it had to somewhat make you to make you confident enough to leave at that age, you dropped out of high school to pursue music. So did any of that past, can you put your finger on part of that past that gave you that confidence, that gave you that, I would say, some kind of swag to be on your own?
That's funny. The confidence, I'm actually still working on that, if I'm being completely candid. Like, I'm still working on the confidence part. Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand about me. They just think I'm, anti and I'm weird. Like, no, I'm self-conscious about a lot of things, and I don't really know how to articulate that a lot of the time. So I use my musical ability and my creative abilities to kind of help me facilitate my reality. But a lot of things are just odd to me. It's just, it don't translate the same way to me that it seems like it does to everybody else. And I find that out in conversations that I just don't necessarily see eye to eye with folks. It don't be a bad thing. It's just I just see stuff differently. Well, man, bro, why didn't you just? I'm like, I didn't think about it like that. Like, I didn't. Like, don't you know you? Like, yeah, but I can't see myself. So I see myself the way that I see myself, and it's a whole lot of stuff that's blinding, sort of like my vision of where I place in the world. So to answer your question, it wasn't really confidence. It was survival. So I had to survive. I know I had to get somewhere. I had to get to something. I couldn't just stay here. And it was just something in me that just didn't know how to just settle. So I just leaned on that. And I was able to discern opportunities and blessings when they were being presented to me enough to be like, I don't really want to do that, but I could see the potential outcome of this. So I'll humble myself and I'll put my whatever personal stuff aside for the greater good of what I know the outcome could be, because it gotta be better than this. And I took a lot of L's because it was very uncomfortable. It was nobody really putting me on game through the process. It was like, just go. And I'm pretty about that work life. So I'll just go. I won't ask too many questions. I won't think too much about it. I'll just focus on getting to the finish line, and we could talk about it later.
I think what we all know is that when you can sustain a career as long as you have and be as musically gifted and talented as someone as yourself, but guys that come across as talented, the music people, it's a gift, but it's kind of almost like a weird gift.
Yeah, it's a two-sided gift. I don't like to say gift in the curse. It's like a two-sided gift. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, was there anything you experienced in your upbringing? Was there anything that you experienced that deflected or derailed that potential, confidence? Because if you're a musical genius, you would think that you would be you'd be confident. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think it works like that.
What happened?
It's a much longer conversation to talk about the beginning of Musiq Soulchild.
But that's the part that the people want to hear.
I know, but it's a complicated order because it gets into things that I personally don't want to get into at the moment.
Okay.
Because it involves people and events that.
Respect that.
So saying that to say, a lot of those experiences, which is what the song Love comes from. A lot of people understand love is a therapy session, and love is my therapist, essentially. And I'm talking to love like, what the everybody don't have the same interpretation of what you are. And a lot of people are using it in a finesseful way, it's very, very like disingenuous. And I'm out here being sincere, trying to give everybody, high quality, top shelf love. Right. And I'm getting basura, so I'm trying to like, am I getting this wrong? And it chips away at your sense of self. And I all of this is happening. I'm not understanding that that's what's happening. And while that's happening, I'm inheriting a lot of like personality, kind of like artifacts, that are not really working for me as far as like building my character and building my self-esteem and building my sense of security and all of that. And then that paired with, alongside with what I was getting, growing up and what I wasn't getting growing up from people that were designated to be responsible to provide me with those things. And then when I got older, I started understanding, I'm missing some stuff. Can't put my finger on it, but I see all these other kids, they thriving, they happy. And not to say that, grass is greener, like they wasn't going through stuff, because everybody do. But from the outside looking in of everybody else, and then being me on the inside, like, I'm going through hell, and I don't know how to like talk about it, because it's like, oh, boo-hoo, like. But it's me, and it's what I'm dealing with, and I need to figure out how to not have my days be so filled with, I want to wrap this up like now, Oh, wow. So that's why I leaned on the music. I leaned on the fact, like, if this is what I had, so this is what I used. Because I couldn't lean on confidence. I couldn't lean on love. I couldn't lean on, feeling like I was the shit. Like, never felt like I was the shit. Even with girls, I never thought I was cute. That's why I always took the passive route, like, yo, can we be friends? Like, I could be an asset to your life. We could have some good times, like, it was never like, it was never that. I never used my singing to even, I thought that was wrong. Like, you're not supposed to do that. You have an unfair advantage. Of course they're gonna like you now, but then now you gotta think, do she like you because you can sing, or do she like you for you? And I was too self-conscious and insecure for me to just push through that. Like, no, I needed somebody to see me and love me for me, because I don't know what that's like. I guess to answer your question, like, it was just a series of events from growing up.
First off, if you ever need to talk to somebody who is very confident and will use who they are and what they did in order to get women, I have the prime example right here.
So I've been told.
Yeah, so what, in a sense, he wouldn't have married the woman he married without playing football. Because she wouldn't have figured out how great his personality was, or how great a father he could be, if she only judged him by his exterior.
Right.
But then he played football.
That's a lie.
He got the right conversations. Then she learned, this guy is just a really great guy. Once I get past the aesthetic of who he is cosmetically.
That's funny.
Right. And so if you ever just need some pointers on that, he could teach you how to use your music for you. But
it's called dime envy.
Got you.
When the bad girl walks in, the sixes be like, look at her glass.
Yeah.
The dime envy, right? Yeah.
It had to been because of that.
it's
she even seen his feet.
Okay, so
part of his foot is the booty though. A piece of his booty skin is actually on it. No, this is real talk, on his foot, and it grows booty hair.
So
it's all upgrades.
But I'm gonna get back to it. Now I do have a really question.
Y'all are wild.
Because I know it was getting heavy, and I don't want to derail that. So you mentioned confidence though, right? And you mentioned confidence, and I think
the point that I was making with that is that it took me a while to understand that was one of my battles. I was always the one that kind of ignored stuff like that and pushed through, regardless of whatever I was feeling, regardless of whatever I was going through, it's like, is you still gonna like show up though? Is you still gonna perform? Is you still gonna make these moves? Is you still gonna put this work in? It's like, I feel you, I see you, but nobody's coming, so what you gonna do? You know, so it wasn't until really a couple years ago when the shutdown happened, I had to sit down and deal with it because I couldn't like hide behind the work. I couldn't run. I had to just sit in it. And everything just came crashing down all at once. And I was like, all right, this can go left like really quick because this is starting to get like really overwhelming. I need to talk to somebody. I need to start talking about it, you know? So I got a really tight circle, literally like 3 people that I deal with on a consistent basis. That's it. And I just start inching my way into being more expressive about my emotions, about my thoughts, because it's like nobody can come to your aid if they don't know that you need help.
My question is this though, right? What is then the separation between Taalib Johnson and Musiq Soulchild? Because Musiq Soulchild seems extremely expressive about what he feels. Musiq Soulchild seems to be able to communicate those things. So it's like in your personal life?
Musiq Soulchild is something that I've, you know, it's a part of myself that I've sort of compartmentalized and cultivated and nurtured into becoming something that I could present to the world, so that I'm not in my own head all the time, so that I'm not drowning in my crap, you know, so that it's not stopping me from being, from engaging with life and my reality, you know, because I would just be at the crib all day, you know, not doing nothing because I don't want to deal with what's out here. Out here is crazy. Some psychos out here. It's people that don't have no regard for human life. They don't care about nothing, you know. And I know it's not everybody, but when you have a timeline where you've been in such close proximity and so many run-ins with those types of people, it kind of shapes your idea of the world. You know, I didn't have a lot of people doing good. You know, it happened in moments and I remember and I appreciate them. And I'm so grateful for them because it happened so sporadically and so random that I wouldn't be here if those moments and those people didn't intervene and didn't look out and didn't reach out. But there's so much other stuff that, you know, I don't want to look at it negatively because everything that happens in your life and everybody coming in your life, you learn from them and they shape you and help you learn yourself in a certain way. And it's like, you're better for it because it challenged you in a way that you didn't see coming and you had to like figure out what you were made of. So I got that, and even that took me a minute because I was very angry and resentful for a lot of years, for a long time. But Musiq Soulchild is very different than, you know, Taalib, because I never really wanted to deal with Taalib because it was too much. You know, even before I understood that it was too much. I was like, I don't want to, you know, I had a very poor self-image. I didn't really invest a lot of positive thinking and positive, you know, a positive mentality or a positive point of view of myself because I know the experiences. I know what I've been through. I know what happened. I know the decisions that I've made, the moves that I made because of what was going on, and I'm not too proud of it. But it what's helping me with the whole confidence thing is, you know, they say a lot of times, you know, when you're dealing with stuff and you want to sort of like get through yourself, everybody say forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. And it's like, yeah, but I mean, I don't got no beef with them. It's like, no, it's not a matter of you forgiving other people. You got to forgive yourself. And for a long time, like, I forgive myself. Like, I don't have no beef with myself. Like, I'm not mad at myself. I don't blame myself for stuff that happened. It is like, yeah, but you still dwell on it. You still, maybe not directly, but you still kind of in your mind have this thing like, I wish it was different. If I knew then what I know now, I would have said this. And maybe that's like, dude, all of that, maybe you can't unhappen the past. It is what it is. You got to move on, because if not, then it'll keep you stuck and the mind don't know the difference, especially if you keep dwelling on the same thing. It thinks that it's happening right now. Stop bringing it up. Let it go. Nobody's coming. Nobody's going. You don't have no pop quiz. You know, why did you make this decision? Like, nobody cares.
How do you get out of that that mode of thinking though? How do you progress or transcend that space?
It's a deal. That's why I said it's a daily thing. Like I'm still working with the confidence thing, you know, because first I had to shift the way that I thought what confidence was, you know, I basically realized like, oh, I'm mirroring myself against other people. I'm cross-referencing myself with other people until I started realizing, oh, they're not necessarily that this is something that they're doing. Like confidence is something that you do. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you have or something that you can like hoard. Like, no, confidence is a decision. You just got to keep making that decision. And then it just becomes muscle memory. You ain't got to think about it no more.
It sounds like Taalib is holding you back. It seems that Taalib is depressed.
Yes. It was. And I didn't want to accept that because I thought depression was stupid. And I thought it was stupid because I always moved regardless. So it's like, what do you, like, okay, you sad. Stuff still gotta happen though.
Right.
You can't just be at the crib just sad. You can't just be moping around waiting for people to baby you. Like, you're not gonna get nowhere. And on top of that, or even on top of that, before that, nobody cares. Not in the way that you would like for them to care, I guess. But then, what does that say about you that you need somebody to baby you? What are you? Pick a side. You can't be a man and a baby.
Are these the conversations you're saying you're having with
yourself?
This
is my inner dialogue. You know what I'm saying? That to kind of, so to answer your question, I have to like constantly, you know, and it used to be a fight because I had a problem with reconciling a lot of things, but that's what happens when you don't get a lot of information, you don't get a lot of guidance, you don't get a lot of nurturing, you don't get a lot of covering, you don't get a lot of, you know, let me walk you through this. When you don't get that, and all you get is expectation, you should have known better, you should have did better. Like, it's like, bro, like.
How much of the industry, the music business itself, how much of that sort of stained you in that way? Because you was
this is before the music industry.
Okay, but
all of this that I'm talking about was before the industry, but
okay,
it didn't help though.
Right, that's what I wanted to get into because you're talking about nurturing and all these things, and you went into the business rather young, in '95, right? That was your...
No. So I started recording in '98. No, technically 98 at the end of 90, but really fully recording in 99. I got my deal in 2000.
Okay.
Already I'm starting behind. You know, I'm at a deficit because everything happens so fast. There wasn't this developmental process that never happened. It was like, you know, and I started recording like officially songs that ultimately became my album, my first album, I Just Want to Sing. I was sporadically just recording here and there. I wasn't thinking about making an album. I wasn't thinking about signing no deal. I was thinking about recording these songs, and eventually, if I felt like I had, you know, a nice batch of records, because even then I was still going through the process of even playing it for people and getting their reaction, and that being, you know, that impacting me, you know, and me feeling like, oh wow, like I'm really nice like I thought I was, because I can't be the only person who thinks so. You know, I just don't think that it's real if you're the only person that can say, like, somebody else that don't have a dog in the fight, ideally somebody that don't really like you, you know, that's what you really want, to be like, oh, you, but this is all right though, I like this, you know. I used to literally stop people at rush hour at 5 p.m. and stop them and, you know, ask them if I could sing for them. I would literally do that. Like if I saw one of y'all walking around the street in Philly.
That's not confidence though?
Again, I'm not thinking of it as confidence. So what that was I was so self-conscious and insecure that I wasn't as good as I would like to be, that I needed an objective opinion. Because then that's something that I could prove. See, this person that I don't know, that don't owe me nothing, I'm probably, you know, annoying them right now, can be bothered to stand and listen to me sing for 30 seconds and will give me their honest opinion, and it was a good one. So now it doesn't matter what I think, I have proof. You know, at least that's how I was thinking at the time. So then I had the opportunity to record at a studio, and I started having records, and I started playing that for people. And then I started getting like similar reactions. I'm like, okay, so I'm not tripping, you know? Because I did have people, whenever I would sing, would give me compliments and say, oh my God, you're good, blah, blah, blah. But because, you know, there's that low self-esteem, poor self-image thing. It's like, it's never enough. You know, you never feel like it's enough, you know? So maybe like 6 months, I'll say, out the year of 99 that I was just recording, not really no plans. I was gonna just get enough batch of records eventually and just, you know, at the time, it was print CDs and, you know, and selling myself. And then work on another one, you know, blah, blah, blah. That was my mindset, you know, because I come from that hustle mentality, like, you know, work with whatever you got. And I wanted my product to be mine, be me, you know. I didn't want it to be, you know, all the random crap that we can get, you know, re-upping every week. And no, I want my own stuff. It's mine, you know. But, you know, there go that divine intervention. It's like, nah, you get a deal. It's like, I don't want a deal. But you're getting one.
You don't want a deal.
Because I don't know what that is.
I got you.
And then you hear all these horror stories about artists not doing what they want to do and having to feed the machine and blah, blah, blah. And that's why I said with D'Angelo, it was like, there might be a chance. They let him in. He's not like everybody else. So maybe I got a shot at doing what I want to do, you know? And, you know, that's another conversation, but because it happened, but it didn't happen. So it gets weird when I start, you know, walking that out.
But it did happen because you got a deal. You went from a guy with the thought of recording, putting some songs together, maybe selling my CD one by one out of hand, to worldwide superstar.
Yeah, you're right. You are not wrong.
And that was 2000.
Yeah, that's starting in 2000. Yeah.
So you talking about 98 to 2000? That ain't a long time.
Yeah. It's
something happened in there that changed everything.
Exactly. Which is why I say it happened. I can't deny that it happened. However, it didn't happen the way that I felt would have worked for me. But what do I know? You know?
You know talent. You know without you being in that studio, none of this would happen. It's on.
Right.
This is on you and your talent and your ability.
But the way that it happened, if the option was, okay, you want to do it the way that, you know, that it happened, or what other way do you want it? I probably would have been like, I want to see what's on the other list, you know?
Yeah. So what would have been the way that you feel would have been best for you?
So in hindsight, I can say the way that it happened was best for me. Just spoiler alert. I just want to throw that out there. But at the time, it's because I had my personal views and the lens that I was viewing this whole creativity music thing from, I wanted to go that route. I didn't understand at the time, like, there was no lane for that. There was no room for that. See, I'm listening to, like, you know, stuff, vintage stuff from like the 70s, you know, and the 80s. And I'm trying to like get the band back together. And it's like, dude, nobody's doing that anymore. As a matter of fact, that's dated. Like, nobody cares about that. It's not to mean that it's not any good. It's just that I had no concept of industry. Like, I had no concept of business and entertainment and how, you know, you have to service a certain demographic and you got to go with what's popular and, you know, and that's what I'm talking about. Feed the machine, you know, because I want to. What I was trying to do, first of all, like, you don't just get that off green. Like, nobody knows you. Who's gonna spend $1 million on you? Because what you're trying to do is gonna cost at least $1 million.
Right.
I'm like, I'm doing it for the culture. Like, you know, the culture is expensive. What are you talking about? You better go run these songs and see if you can show up tomorrow. Like, and I'm already talking, yeah, so then my next album, it's like, they was like, oh, next album. Oh, okay. Now, it happened, you know, and again, I'm not thinking that that's confidence. I'm thinking that that's logical because I've amassed enough data that what I'm doing works. So it has nothing to do with whether I believe in myself or not. It just works. how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You get 2 slices of bread, you put peanut butter on one, you put jelly. That nothing to do with confidence. That's just the math of it.
But it's also a resume, though. I'm a resume guy.
Okay.
So he talking about my confidence, which I think is fully warranted, and there's other opinions in the room. But I go to play ball, I make it to the league. I start radio, one of the top shows, the sports shows in South Florida. Started the podcasting, got on top of media. Like, I look at my resume, and that's the confidence that I have. Like, oh, I'm gonna touch it, it's gonna be good. When you touch stuff, it won awards, bro. Like, you talking about bringing home the gold. You bring home the gold. You have shelves of stuff telling you you're great.
It never occurred to me that they go together. It never occurred to me that they go to, like, the reason why you have the right to be confident is because you can, because, it's just, no, I just did what I was supposed to do. Like, I just did my job.
For me, a guy who gets on the plane, if I'm getting on the plane and I'm gonna chill, I will put on I Just Want to Sing.
Oh,
right? Because I know the songs. Right. It's soothing to me. Right? And it's always, every single time you listen to it, it's as good as the first time you listen to it. It has not gotten dated because at the time it was different from that time. Because it wasn't about who produced it. It wasn't about what the music sounded like. It was what it made you feel like.
Right.
When you listen to it now, looking back and saying all these things that you felt could have been done differently or you thought they could have been done differently at the time, when you listen to that music now, an album you made when you was just making music, you wasn't even thinking it was gonna be an album. Right. What do you feel when you hear that album, when you hear those songs that made us know you?
Just like an incalculable amount of gratitude. The things that happened at that time happened in such a way for that to become what it was. Because I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I can't take credit for that because that's not what I was pushing for. That's not what I was trying to make happen. But the gratitude comes from the fact that despite that, it still happened. And it clearly happened in my favor. I can say that now, after the timeline of everything. It's been 20 some odd years now, and I have something that to this day that people can say what you're saying, a variation of what you're saying to me all the time. And it's like, that's crazy. So it shifted somewhere in the middle because before I couldn't get past, the nitpicking, I could have did that better and I wish I would have did that better and and I just couldn't get past that. That's that whole perfectionist spirit. I got a bully in my brain that won't let me go, it won't leave me alone. I used to have a hard time sleeping because it's like, but I had to understand, like, bro, you got to let that go. That happened already. If you feel that way, okay, use that for the next thing. All right, use that information and use that game and use that shoulda, woulda, coulda for the next thing. Keep moving forward, man. So now, after experiencing so many things and things being put into a better perspective, or me working towards having things, me working towards viewing things from a better perspective, helps me to be that much more grateful to that, because now it's not about the nitpicking and whatever I might have felt like was a mistake or I could have did better. That's because it don't matter to people. It only matters to you. Mm. They don't know what it could have been or what you wanted to do. All they know is what they got, and what they got they think is amazing. That's a win, bro.
Yeah.
Just take the win.
Have you finally taken the win?
Yes.
What was that moment like when you finally accepted what you had accomplished?
When I was realizing why I was drowning. Because I'm looking for all of this, whatever I thought what I was looking for, to be seen as good, to be seen as good enough, to be accepted, to be, I realized, one, that's wildly misdirected. You're not ever going to get that from these people because it's not their responsibility to provide you with that. And what triggers you to feel this way is the people that you were looking for, originally for that. But it's not really up to them either. It's you. You the one that got to give that to you. And I thought that I could get it from people if I gave it away. Yeah, but then you tapped out, looking for somebody to give you theirs. Sorry you didn't get the memo or the email, you know. You're never supposed to give up yours. You're supposed to give, if you're gonna give, you're supposed to give your extra, your excess. Because how can you give if you ain't got? And you ain't never gonna have if you keep giving it away. And then you're gonna be stuck looking for people to give it to you, and that's nobody's responsibility.
I've been very sick and injured and hurt, and I didn't like pain pills when I played, and I didn't like morphine and all of those things. And I remember being in the hospital and being in so much pain and finally asking for morphine or finally asking for something to kill the pain. And the nurse came in and she said, Ryan, don't chase the pain. And what she was saying was, because you had that deficit, now you're doing so much. You're asking me for pills, you're asking me for morphine, and you want all of these things because you were so empty, right? You had so much pain, you're trying to fill that spot. And it seems like for you, you didn't get a certain sort of love, you didn't get a certain sort of support, you didn't get what you felt like you needed or you were looking for, and then now you're pouring so much of yourself into other people in hopes of getting that back when they're never gonna fill that void. Like that's
so to
never
answer
gonna
your question, that's when it shifted for me. Because then you start to realize you was doing it wrong, you know? So now you have to start taking accountability for your decision making as to why you are where you are. So what I started to do is I kind of like, in a way of saying, I kind of just went all the way back, as far as I can go back. Before this and start here. I started with myself. And then I started working my way out. And what I started working my way out with is, let's stop focusing on the trash. Let's start over and build with what you can build with. Not what you can't build with. Like can't do nothing with the trash. Let's build now. Let's look around and see. Let's just ask the question: what do you have that you can build with? And when I started, about it was like 2020. I had 20 years of accomplishments that I was just like, oh no, yeah, I did that. Like, no, we're not about to do that again.
Yeah.
No, nobody just wakes up and does that. Can say that they've accomplished that. Can just, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And you wonder why you feel like you're not enough. Because you're not acknowledging and respecting the fact that you have done it. You've done more than enough. And you have the audacity to still be willing to go do more, but you still feel like it's not enough, bro. You're tripping.
Yeah.
That's what that whole process taught me. And I started to, conversation with my guys, and they're giving me a perspective from the outside. And I know they ain't got to shine my shoes. They don't have to be here. They're here because they want to be here. And even that took a while, because I had a whole lot of people that was in my inner circle that I trusted and leaned on, and found out they wasn't there for me, and I had to start over again. And I didn't start to stabilize till about, 2015? That's when it started to stabilize.
15 years deep by that point.
Yeah, of just crap on top of crap on top of crap. And I'm still investing, giving, open, letting it, and just taking L's. And again, even with that whole process, all of that anger and resentment, I had to let that go because accountability said, you let them in. No, it's not your fault. You shouldn't be held accountable for what they decided to do. But they were only able to do it because you allowed it. I didn't understand the concept of boundaries. I didn't understand the concept of, negotiating your what do you call them? Your non-negotiables. I didn't understand. I just want to love everybody. You can't love everyone, unfortunately. Not as an action. You can love them from a distance, but you can't, not as an action.
Yeah, that's so much energy.
In certain professions, people take what they get and they deal with it. you know, but on a professional level, professional sports, music, and all this thing, we try and find that equal measure of reciprocity, because we feel like we're the talent, and we're pouring in our soul.
Right.
We feel that we should be compensated as such, but that's not always the case.
No.
How much weight and pressure of navigating the music business itself affect the product?
That's a good question.
I know if I'm trying to get a new contract, I'm pissed off. I might not go run 10 for 120.
Yeah.
It might go the other way.
Yeah.
You know?
So I didn't, again, because it happened so fast, I had no context of what was going on. And, you know, the people that I was working with at the time, you know, God bless them, their focus was on something else, meaning it wasn't really on me. So that left me in the wind a lot of the times.
Meaning something else within the label?
Within the label, within the process, within the game, what the game was.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't a priority, as in, bro, let me help you out, let me help you understand, blah, 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 blah. It was like, hey, this is what you do. Hey, do this, and oh, you got it, everybody does this, so come on. It's like, and because because you gotta understand the timeline, I'm still in survival mode. I'm just go. Just give me the bullet points, got it, just go. You know, like I don't like to hold up productivity. I like to just move, especially when a new opportunity as such, like biggest check I have in my, first check I ever had in my life. Let's just start there. I never got a check before. Well, you know, I got
It's
jobs.
bigger than your Waffle House check?
Okay. So first biggest check that I had, you funny.
No, I just, Waffle
You
House,
funny.
you were saying, I believe I could fly and stuff at the Waffle
Whoa.
House. That's a brave choice.
Well, at the time, we talking about 97, bro. Like, what do you want from me? It was everywhere. We didn't know.
He was there.
Anyway.
He was there at the Waffle House.
It's crazy. As you're talking, we had a Wallow on.
Oh, Wallow, yeah.
We had Wallow on, and I wouldn't say the same word, but the same energy of like the just grind mode, just go, like
So,
there's no stop. And RC asked the question I'm gonna ask you. Do you have hobbies? Do you have a good time? Do you have like, hey bro, I have a Saturday off, let me go blank.
I do now, but at the time, no. I was just work. Because I didn't, what else was I doing? Like, essentially, it's like I just got picked off the street. It's like literally on some Cinderella type shit. Like, it's like, but midnight never came. So I'm just still.
Man, still got a carriage.
You know, I did my work, you know, and I felt like it was working because you guys were telling me that it was working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, cool, then bet. I guess I'm doing a good job. You know, just don't ask me how I feel.
But talk to us about now then. Talk to us about, because he asked, did you have hobbies or things that you would do?
So,
and you said, I do now.
So, you know, I like video games. You know, I like to cook. I like to watch anime. I like to watch MMA. I like
Welcome.
Oh, thanks.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was like,
Yeah.
Freaking love it.
Yeah.
This is my guy.
Yeah, you know, and of course, whenever possible, you know, I like to kick it with my kids, you know. That's pretty much it. I don't club, I don't party, you know, I don't.
I was gonna say a lot of your hobbies are introvert activities.
I'm only extroverted by profession.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting where like you're forced. I would ask, are you forced to be in the limelight when you have to be?
I don't think of it as being forced, you know, as I'm being forced anymore. I think of it as, you know, as I get to go out, you know, because if I didn't, like I said before, I'd be at the crib all day, and it's not too much productivity you can get out of just being at the crib all day. You know, I mean, we're in a digital age, I guess you could Zoom it a lot, or, you know, do a lot of digital stuff. But the point that I'm trying to make is, and you talking about before all of this, before social media, before, you know, it was convenient to just hop on the laptop or get on your phone and you know, interact with people across the world. Before that, we're talking about 2000. Folk thought the world was gonna end in 2000. They thought the computers was gonna glitch because nobody thought about all the zeros, and then society was gonna collapse.
Yeah.
And then 2000 came, everything was cool. I got a record deal. You know, and life, you know, as I know it now, officially started, you know, for me. So I'm used to being out of the way, you know. I'm used to just doing my work, get my money, and then go home. That's what I was just used to. But now it seems like you ain't really doing nothing if people don't know about what you're doing. And it's like, but I'm not really doing, I've been doing the same thing I've been doing the past 20 years. And it didn't matter then, why does it matter now? It's like, well, because things change. We're in a different time. It just is what it is. And you either, you change with it, or you get changed out. I was like, okay, all right, thankfully I have a publicist, you know, shout out to Mocha Style Media. She, you know, pulling me, man. She'll just pull me aside. Let's do this TikTok. I don't even own a TikTok. Like, what do you mean? I'm not on TikTok. Yes, you is. It's okay. Come on. She's from Brooklyn. She's not gonna take no for an answer.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we're in a very different time than 2000.
Very different.
In 2000, I knew I can go to Circuit City on Tuesday and the album was gonna drop.
Golly.
And I
Nigga said Circuit City.
Y'all ain't go to Circuit City?
No, I remember Circuit City.
Yeah. Best Buy.
Best Buy too? It eventually became Best Buy. But it was also Circuit City.
No, I remember.
Yeah,
That's not my
You
point.
could go to Walmart. we had to do Mr. Bean. He would go to Walmart and he'd steal them and we could buy them out his trunk.
Allegedly.
His real name not Bean. We good.
Stealing money out the man's pocket, man. Come on, man.
Just saying, man. That's how we got. I was in college. But you said, you mentioned about being seen now. Yeah. It's almost as if you aren't seen working, that you aren't working.
Yeah.
Right? And that it's not necessarily always about the product as to how the product was produced.
Yeah.
How the product was put into place. Yeah. Exactly.
BTS seems to be more important than the actual content that the BTS is capturing. It's like you don't care about the end result. Like, no, I want to see the BTS. I want to see how y'all did it. Like, what? Hey, how about you get your own situation and you can see how it's done every day? Huh? Like, what do you do? We're not here for your, yes, we are here for your entertainment. Got it, okay. And that's when it clicked. We're talking about a different generation of people. We literally shift from a generation of people that was like, I don't care how it was made, just give me the end product, to, I don't care about the end product. How was it made? I want to see everything that happened. I want to see the camera. I want to know what's you? What's your name? You. See that? They want to break the wall because it makes them feel like they got exclusive access. They don't want what everybody else gets. Everybody wants to feel special, Well,
the difference is this, though. When I was brought up, though, it was, and the shortest saying for you and for you and for you, you don't tell nobody what happened in this house.
Exactly.
Whereas now, you can get famous telling the world what's happening in your house.
Yeah. You could go live from the toilet bowl, bro.
Yeah.
And people will be like, this is fire. I'm staying on. Like, bro, nothing's happening. Yeah. Nothing's happening any different than what happens when you sit on the toilet. But because I'm this person to you, me going to the toilet is more special than you're like, dude, you could literally do this. Go to your bathroom and go live and do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not encouraging people to do that. I'm just saying.
I ain't got no gallbladder, so.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Oh, bro, he all torn up inside.
Oh no.
He ain't got no pieces.
Oh God.
Yeah, all the shit.
What would I do if I could be? Tin Man over here.
Oh, you done gave me one now.
Why you started singing?
Man, I had no patience.
You was the boss, motherfucker. He ain't got no indoors. Oh my goodness,
Oh, God.
I like that one.
It definitely had a very interesting impact on me. It simultaneously changed my life, essentially for the better, but it also ran me into new traffic. I gotta deal with all of these people. Whoa, it's too many people.
Do you realize that you were able to create something that takes us back, you know, like 9/11. Now everybody in here know where they were.
I was actually there.
What they were doing in 9/11, right? Your music, the classic, it does the exact same thing.
Word.
I mean, how, like, I don't like to say proud. I usually say I'm excited. But for you, I guess, how does that make you feel?
I've gotten to a point where I have a deep appreciation, you know, for being a person who was basically a vehicle to be able to do that. Like to be able to facilitate that for people, to be able to be a catalyst for, you know, inspiration and entertainment, but more so inspiration, because people love telling me how much my music inspired them. Like people like really be legit in their feelings. Like, bro, you speaking my life, fam. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's real.
Okay, I appreciate that. I don't know you though.
Right.
But I'm speaking on it because it's something that I can identify with, because I've gone through it myself. I just present it in a more general way so that more people can identify it. That's why I don't like to speak on details. I don't like to, because it's not about me, it's about what happened. And I know people out there are going through it. So in essence, I'm simply like attempting at soundtracking real life. That's how I see what I make, you know, or what the kind of music that I want to be known for is for, you know, attempting at soundtracking real life.
I played football for free for a very long time. Channing did, Fred did.
Okay.
And I didn't start with the goal to be a professional, but eventually when I realized I had enough talent, that became a goal of mine. And when I reached it, there was that sense of I set out to attain a goal, or I set out to achieve a goal, and I was blessed to do it.
Right.
Singing and music and entertainment is a little bit different, but essentially you were in the minor leagues. You were thinking about making a song, passing out.
There are parallels.
And you get there.
Right.
And in getting there and out at the light, like, bruh, I don't even know if you remember, I've been to a couple of concerts in my life. I saw you at the House of Blues in the NO.
Yeah.
When I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember it.
I remember that too.
To me, like, that feels like the NFL to me. That feels like being paid for it. Like when you walk on that stage and the lights are on you and it's showtime, you don't get that feeling of, man, like, I did this.
No, because I can't get past the nerves.
Bro, I thought we were gonna come in, honestly, and I was gonna sing. I came downstairs with it. I was like, we gonna get music to sing on our show.
He literally pulled up with Just Friends. Yeah, he pulled up with Just Friends.
Give him a bar.
And I felt this energy though. And you know what I felt like when I saw him? I was like, damn, I'm surprised that you called.
Okay.
But painting a different picture, RC. I mean, I'm just sitting here thinking as you're talking, that's your equivalent to, you know, kickoff and game time, but it's deeper than that. Because your music is gonna outlast all of our lives times 2 and 3.
Combined,
you know, kids who are getting on this AI and all this other digital shit. I need a song about love. You popping up.
Man,
this is 120 years from now.
Right.
That gotta make you feel some type of, I don't care about confidence or what you say.
We mad at him.
I'm mad. I'm hot with
we
it.
didn't got mad at him now.
Here's the reason why.
Because I love that shit. You know, that's the most complicated emotion.
But here's the thing that
ever.
I always try to like make a point of. A lot of people do that. And you know, I used to take it away, but now I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that I don't think you guys are aware that I don't get to live in that space.
I guess that's
I don't get to live in that space. I don't get to, you know, kick my feet up on some bitch on me shit. I don't get to do that.
That's true.
I don't get to say that I'm a legend. I don't get to say that I'm gonna be remembered. I don't get to say that. At least that's at least me. I don't, the way that I view things. I don't get to say that. That's for the world to do that. That's for y'all to do that. That's for time to do that. Right. I don't get to do that. So I don't ever operate from that. Yeah, come up with this. Like, no, that's just not how I was built. I didn't come with that feature, I guess. I don't know.
Everybody in the world has like called the beeper it's the 143 joint. Like everybody's done that.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at him right now.
I know one. You done Kappa, you talking about at concerts you were, jittery and still.
Right, so because I'm so self-conscious that I want to do a good job.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's how,
But once you figured out you did a good job, and I'm getting into the women. Okay. Once you figured out you did a damn good job, once when somebody's up there about to throw their drawers on the stage.
And have. Yeah.
And have.
Yeah.
Were you capitalizing on those opportunities?
No.
Why not? Now I'm mad.
Okay. I done pissed everybody off. I done pissed them off with the not singing. I done pissed them off with not calling myself a legend. I'm pissing you off for not pulling. Okay. I can't make none of y'all happy, man.
Tough world.
Nah, hey, it is what it is. But no, because I just felt like, I don't know, man. Call me a weirdo, call me different, call me whatever you want, but I just felt like that ain't what you're supposed to do. I don't know. I don't know why I got that vibe. It's like, it just, and again, this is no knock on nobody. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not talking about nobody, but me. It just felt like an unfair advantage. It felt, the saying, shooting fish in the barrel kind of thing. Like, it just felt, get the fish.
The tall dude. The funny guy's the funny guy.
Right,
the cute guy's the cute guy. This guy,
but
you the singing motherfucker.
Get it. You're right. You're not wrong. You all facts. But you're talking to a person that had a lot of things, twisted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't see my advantages. I didn't lean into them because for whatever the reasons are, it felt like you're not supposed to do this wrong. It's predatory. Like you gotta earn it, It's I had a lot of like, if you would have said this to me or we would have had this conversation maybe like 10 years ago, I'd have been triggered. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have nutted up a little, well, man, you don't know me. Like I probably would have, because it was unresolved, undealt with baggage, that I didn't want to deal with, didn't know how to deal with, wasn't even, allowing myself to be aware that it was even there. So I just, I'll just turn up. But now I can say, fam, you are right. I don't know why I didn't,
Yeah.
Like, that was dumb. Like if I sat and thought, about like, bro, it's just enough to make you like,
I got one for you. Here we go. Right, every year as Black people, we get to look forward to 1 month.
Oh, God.
And because that's what they give us.
That's what they gave us.
That's what they give us. I just plan to take more.
Okay.
When you think about your career and in Black History Month, and when we get opportunities to where the world or America honors us, but we want to honor us all the time. Mm-hmm. Your music does have a feel of soul. Your music does have a spirituality to it. Who are some of the people that influenced you and made you want to make music?
So that's like the longest list ever, but I miss everybody with it because that's a whole presentation, that's a whole clinic that I would need to give. But I always tell everybody at the top, for me, is Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, and Marvin Gaye. Those are the three that I learned or gained the most from. Now, it's not to take away from all the other ones. There's James Brown and Prince and George Clinton and it's a whole bunch of people. It's a whole bunch of people. But I always find myself pivoting around Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, and Marvin Gaye. Always. I always go back. Those are my go-tos. Those are my guys. I always, whenever I get stuck, like writing or coming up with melodies or song arrangements, them, because I learned the most from them. Those were my, in essence, music educators. I learned how to navigate and conduct myself and find my own voice through, listening to them and studying them, the best way I knew how. There's only so much that you can do indirectly. I call them soul stars. Those are the three soul stars that I learned the most from.
Here's the last question. And Freddie T normally asks this question, and he normally says, what was your biggest pivot? But I'm gonna change it a little bit and make it a little broader. Do you believe you've made your biggest pivot in life already? Or is that still to come?
That feels more like it. Because to the point of me feeling like it didn't happen the way that I, wanted it to happen, but clearly it happened, it always keeps me in this state of, but I haven't gotten started yet, which is profoundly weird to say because of all that I've already accomplished through the span of time that I have. I know, and it hits me different now because I was saying it from a place of frustration before. But now I'm saying it from a place of fact because I do feel that way. But when I hear it, it's like, but you kind of saying it like you ain't been doing nothing up until now, which is very not facts. So, and I'm like you, I started to get upset like, you ain't authorized to say that you ain't do enough.
Right.
Who are you, bro?
Right.
So all of them are wrong.
Right.
All of these publications and institutions and all of these accolades and all of this, these radio stations and all these people that keep showing up to all of your shows for 20 freaking years, all of them are wrong.
Not a chance.
They're the ones that pay you. They're the ones that you do this for. They're the ones who have the bigger say. Now, you got the gift and you have the ability and you have the responsibility. So that comes with a sense of authority. But the overarching authority, you don't get to say that. You get to say how you feel, express your feelings, yeah, cool, all that. But you don't say that and it be true and it be a fact. That's just how you feel. Because the fact of the matter is very different. And the sooner you get better acquainted with the facts of the matter and not allow your distortion of the facts because of how you feel, because you're looking at it from your flawed lens, which is, how we started. I'm working on changing that and shifting that. And as I'm doing that, I'm able to appreciate and receive and be more grateful rather than just, I gotta go make the donuts again. Hope I don't piss too many people off. And it's like, that's no way to live, man. That's no way to live. Appreciate your accomplishments. Celebrate your points on the board, bro. Stop looking for something that's not there. Appreciate what is there. Because you're going to be unhappy. You're going to always be unhappy.
I think, this turned into, honestly, what we love this show to be, that you came on, you were vulnerable, you were open, and really blessed us with everything you said. And in the end, we have to all make the individual agreement with ourselves that our opinion of us is the one that's going to matter, but we have to be truthful with ourselves.
Exactly.
And being truthful with yourself is being able to say when you do it wrong, but it's also being able to say when you did it right. And so for us, and I hope I can speak for Freddie and I can speak for Chan, first of all, we're grateful you gave us your time,
Yes, sir.
But we appreciate the work you've put in because that work has affected our lives. That work has meant something to us. And for whatever that's worth to you, I hope you accept that.
No, it means a lot.
But we appreciate you, man.
No, it means a lot, and it always meant a lot. It's just that before I was able to be more receptive, to be as receptive as I am now, I didn't really put too much, on that because, I did move in a space. I have the final say of whether that matters or not because I'm the one that got to do it, and they don't know my life and they don't know me like that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get out of that because I had to get out of that victimized mentality. I didn't understand it. I wasn't aware that that's what was happening. Funny enough, it's an interesting segue into the album because the name of the album is Victims and Villains, and I was speaking. The concept was from a relationship standpoint, but it's applicable to any circumstance, even your relationship with yourself, that I wasn't as aware as I would have liked to have been at the time that I am now, that I was operating from a victimized perspective, and not to take away from the fact that, a lot of things have happened to me. Yes, it happened to you. Yes, you're right. But it's not happening now. So it already happened. What did you do about it? Because if all you did about it was, saved it into your memory banks and you just keep reliving it, wondering what happened and how come it, dude, that's
controlling you.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly.
Victims and villains is different.
Yeah, but then I had to realize, like, if I'm the victim, who's the villain? It's you. It's you. I'd rather focus on what was the gain, Fuck the pain. What was the gain?
Right.
Because I can work with that. You know what I'm saying? You operating out of pain, you're just gonna keep looking for painkillers, and that's just a distraction, and you're not gonna get nowhere. Yeah, to your point. Yeah. To your point.
I think I want to end with this, is that the only animal in the world that is punished multiple times for the same action is the human. The human is punished by those that the action affected, and inversely, we punish ourselves.
Yes.
And the difference between a victim and a warrior is, and this is in the 4 agreements, a victim represses who they are when faced with adversity. A warrior refrains from doing certain things that they know will cause them more harm.
Yeah.
You're a warrior, brother, and we appreciate you, man. For sure, bro.
That.
Yes, sir.
You got deep. I like that.
I've been reading.
You've been reading. I was just gonna tell him I had a lot of sex to his album.
That's all you care about.
Hold up, limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up. On the mission got me up. Knowing me, I got the key. Only vision I can trust. Limitless. Niggas to me, got pin in it. I fought the head to witness it. Got my people feeling militant. Way I'm feeling got me up.